Hey there guys, this is going to be second tutorial on Nmap tool, and I have already made a first tutorial on Nmap tool and the video will be in the description box below. Do check that also. Even the blog post I have written on Nmap tool will also be in the description. Check that also. So in this video what we are going to do is, firstly we are going to do a SYN TCP scan, and then we are going to do a TCP scan, and then we are just pinging the target, and then we are assuming the target is up or not. And finally we are doing proxy chains, which is we are scanning for the target anonymously using the proxy chain tool. By default the proxy chain is pre-installed in the Kali Linux. If not, I will also teach how to install. And the Nmap tool is very noisy, which is it leaves traces behind, so that we use the proxy chains. So firstly let's see how to do a SYN TCP scan. To do a SYN TCP scan, just enter nmap minus small s and capital S and enter the target. The target here I am entering is scanme.nmap.organization. You could also enter the IP address of the target. I am entering -T4 and -V, and I am also going to specify the ports it want to scan. By default the Nmap will be scanning for port 0 to 1000, but here I am going to mention 1 to 100 ports. So now we are going to do SYN TCP scan and the target scanme.nmap.organization, and I have mentioned the time. So the time is nothing but it will be increasing the speed of the scan, and I have added the -V for readable format, and I am going to scan these ports only. Let's give enter. So it has found two open ports, that is the port 80. In port 80 there will be HTTP, and in port 22 there is wait a minute, in port 22 there is SSH, I guess. Yeah, yes, in port 22 there is SSH, you could see over here, and in port 80 there is HTTP. And it also found for all the ports, it has found what are the services are running in every ports. So this is how to do a SYN TCP scan. Instead of specifying the ports, you could just enter -p- to do a full port scan from 0 to 65,535. So I'm not going to do this because it will be taking very late. You just try with your machine. So this is how to do a SYN TCP scan. Now let's see how to do a TCP scan. To do a TCP scan, just enter nmap minus s and capital T and enter the target. And the target here I'm entering the target I'm entering is the scanme.nmap.organization, the previous one itself. And let's specify the time. The time here I am specifying is -T3. It is different from the -T4. -T3 is an average speed, where the speed will be a little bit normal, and the -T4 is a little bit faster. So I'm going with -T3 speed, and also I'm adding -V, and I'm also going to specify the ports I want to scan. I am scanning from the port 1 to 100, and let's give enter. So now we are doing a TCP scan on the target scanme.nmap.organization, and I have specified the time, and also I have specified the -V for webinars, and also I have specified the ports. Unfortunately, I didn't find any informations. Let's go for port 1 to, let's go for ports 80, 443. Now we are just doing a TCP scan on the target and the speed limit and -V for webinars. And now we are doing a TCP scan on only these ports, that is port 80, 443 and port 22, and let's give enter. So it has found the open ports. No, it didn't find any open ports. So it has did the TCP scan only on these ports we have specifically entered. Or instead of specifying the ports, you could enter -p- to do a full port scan, or you could also enter -p0 to 65,535. So this is how to do a full TCP scan. So nextly we will move on to how to ping a scan. To ping a scan, just enter nmap -sp and just the target. So what this command does is it just sends some packets to the target and checks the host is up or not. As you could see here, it has scanned for one IP address and it says that one host is up. That means the host is alive. Now nextly move on to, we are assuming that every host are up. So just enter nmap minus capital P, and then most of the time you will be using this command. So yeah, just learn this command and just enter the target. The target here will be scanme.nmap.organization, and let's enter -vv for double verb and let's also specify the ports and let's also specify the ports. Here I am going to specify ports 1 to 1000 and let's give enter. So now it is doing a ping scan. It is not pinging, but we are assuming that every host is up. Okay. So it is scanning for 1000 ports. As I enter 1000 over here, let's give enter and check the scan. So the scan has completed 75%. So the results are here, and it took pretty much very late, and we could see it has scanned for 1000 ports as I enter 1000 over here. So as you could see, I have entered 1000 ports and it has scanned for 1000 ports, and it has gathered the open ports and the SSH and HTTP and the reasons SYN. So as you could see, what it does is it just sends some packets and it assumed that all the 1000 ports are up and said that none of them are closed. And as you could see, 773 no response and 255 resets and 225 closed ports. Only if you do -p and capital P and scan, you could see these results. So you could see values, you could see all these results. And then now let's move on to how to scan anonymously in Nmap tool. So Nmap tool is very noisy tool. This tool is noisy because in the previous example I have scanned for the scanme.nmap.organization, and if I open the Wireshark and just enter the source target, we could just visibly see who is doing these scans. So it will be saying my IP address and say that this guy is doing the SYN scan and the TCP scan. It will be saying lively, which will be in the verbonosity format. So the humans can read the scans. To scan anonymously, we are just entering the proxy chains. So proxychain is a pre-installed tool in most of the Debian machine. If it is not pre-installed, just enter apt get install proxychains. Don't forget to enter S at the end. So this is the command to install the proxychains tool. I have already installed this tool. So I'm just going to give Control-C and exit, and we could see the version over here, the proxychains version. Whatever scans you are doing, just enter proxychains in front. So when you add proxychains, the scan will be not going through your IP address, it will be going through a random IP addresses in the proxychains. Just enter, and I will be also making a video on the proxychains. So stay tuned, make sure you give a subscribe and like to our channel. So proxychains and Nmap, and I'm going to do a scan over here, and the scan here is nmap minus port 80. I'm doing on the port 80 and also on the port 443, and also let's do on the SSH, and let's mention the target initiation, and also let's add some time. Also let's add -v. So what it does is, as you could see over here, it is going through proxy chains, which is not your IP address. Your IP addresses will not be visible on the target side. So it is a way to scan anonymously on Nmap. So in this video what we have learned is, firstly we did a SYN TCP scan and full TCP scan, and we have learned how to ping a scan, and we have learned how to assume every host are up, and we also learned how to scan anonymously in Nmap tool. So that's it for this video. So see you next video guys. Make sure you go like and subscribe to our channel.